today, news from the Philippines. We've been talking about this for a while now. Economic boom. Could it be time to go back now? Also in entertainment, Pacific Rim joins us for On the Red Carpet as we talk about Kababayan Pride Apple, the app of the Black Eyed Peas, and how he's celebrating his successes as well as giving back and sharing his blessings. That's all today on the show. But then again, of course, like I said earlier, let's talk about the news. Malaki pong balita ang gumulanta sa atin. Nakakalungkot ang pagpinsala ng isang kalamidad sa Oklahoma. Here's what happened.
Central Oklahoma, the focus has shifted from search and rescue to recovery. Cleanup and rebuilding will be a massive undertaking, but Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb says Oklahomans are resilient.
It's just pure devastation, absolutely horrific. You also see amongst the rubble and amongst the devastation, families huddled together, pulling things out of the rubble, smiling the best they can.
FEMA has more than 300 personnel on the ground surveying the damage. The agency is promising long-term support.
We don't leave when the cameras leave. We stay here till the job's done.
In the wake of Monday's deadly tornado, teachers are being hailed as heroes. Gabriel Wheeler says his teacher covered students' heads as the ceiling collapsed and bricks rained down.
She helped save my son's life. She helped save other students' lives, and we're proud of her. And we all take an oath as an educator to protect the kids, and she fulfilled that duty better than anyone.
The National Weather Service says the twister was one of the strongest to ever strike the U.S., with winds topping 200 miles per hour. An estimated 2,400 homes were damaged. Matt Hill says the experience of the storm itself was even worse than losing everything.
When you're sitting in the bathtub holding your mom, she screams at you to hold her tighter because she thinks she's going to fly away. And then you feel the house break and you can taste the dirt in your mouth.
Some 24 people did not survive. Joshua Hornsby lost his daughter Janae, a third grader at Plaza Towers Elementary.
She was the best kid anybody could have. She was, a ball of energy, a ball of love.
Our hearts and prayers go out to the victims. Of course, Red Cross is still accepting donations. And when this came out, a lot of our kababayans were concerned that there may be Filipinos affected. Fortunately, according to the consulate, wala naman daw po sa ating mga kababayan ang naapektuhan ng pinsala na yan. But meanwhile, today on the show, we're also going to give you some tips on what you need to prepare. You know, calamities happen in most unexpected times, and we need to always be prepared. We have tips for you this afternoon on the show. Meanwhile, shifting gears for just a little bit, a small victory for immigrant communities, also for us Filipinos as well. The Judiciary Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee passed the Immigration Reform Bill, and now the Gang of Eight will go to the Senate to discuss the bill as well. And here are some sound bites from last Monday's debate.
Each applicant for asylum must pass extensive biometric and biographic security checks. Both law enforcement and intelligence checks are required, including the FBI, Department of Defense, Department of State, and other agencies. We do recognize when it comes to border enforcement, the very question that you raise, that if our initial plan, comprehensive plan to make the border safe, does not achieve that, the states play an even larger role with ample federal resources to get the job done.
Immigration law has always given immigrants a right to obtain counsel, but not at taxpayers' expense. Why are we giving the Attorney General broad and unreviewable power to appoint attorneys for immigrants, including dangerous criminal people here illegally, while why should the American taxpayers have to foot the bill for lawyers?
Also, big victory for Filipinos for Garcetti as the former council president takes the seat of L.A. City Mayor. Joining us on the phone is one of his avid campaign volunteers, Joe Bernardo, a Kababayan who's also worked as field deputy for then council president Eric Garcetti. Joe, hello, and I guess congratulations to you and to your team, and of course to L.A. City Mayor-elect Eric Garcetti.
Salamat Janelle.
Joe, you've worked with then Council President Eric Garcetti. What is he like, and what is this election of his? What will this mean to our community?
I think Eric is a wonderful mayor. He'll be a wonderful mayor. His heritage, he's half Mexican, half Jewish. He represents the 13th district, which is the district in the city with the most diversity. And so with that, he handled a lot of the diverse issues in the district very well. and he's been such a good supporter of the Filipino community.
Okay, let's talk about him and the Filipino community because I know that he's done so much for our Kababayans. He's been very vocal about his support for Filipino veterans. Also, he led the establishment of a historic Filipino town in Los Angeles. What more can the Filipinos expect from him this time as he takes the seat as the mayor of the city?
Well, now that he's mayor of the entire city, then Filipinos from all over the city have a connection to Councilmember Garcetti, whether you're in historic Filipino town where she was represented for 12 years, or in Eagle Rock, or now in Panorama City. So now everybody has a kind of connection to Eric Garcetti. Everyone can know that he will represent Filipinos very well. He had a long history, as you said, with the Filipino community. But I think what's very important is that the Filipino community demand that their voice be heard in City Hall, whether it be appointing proper staff in higher positions, and whether commission seats. The Filipino community really needs to kind of demand to have their voice in City Hall. It's not going to be given to them by an election, by a mayor. We really have to come together and demand it.
Yes, Joe, when we talk about demanding, it means writing letters, calling. What other things, and how accessible will the new mayor be?
I think he's going to be very accessible. I mean, right now he's always hired Filipino staff to represent Filipinos. I'm positive he's going to continue that tradition in the future. So Filipinos will have a voice, but it's a matter of Filipinos demanding that we have a higher, more powerful voice in the city staff.
Thank you for your thoughts today. It's been a hard-fought campaign. I know you guys were very busy, so time to rest or time to celebrate or time to go back to work right away? Which one is?
A little bit of all three of that. So rest, celebrate, and just, make sure that thank everyone who voted yesterday, and the hard work is ahead.
All right. Well, thank you so much for now, Joe. And please tell the new mayor, he can always count on us here on Kababayan Today, here on LA 18, if he needs to reach out to the community for any reason, for any purpose.
Okay. Salamat, Janelle.
Salamat, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
That was Joe Bernardo, like I said, a very avid volunteer for the campaign of the now LA City Mayor-elect Eric Garcetti. When we return on Kababayan LA, we have more news for you. Could it be time to go back to the Philippines? A lot of people are pondering that as there is an economic boom, so construction, employment, and business. And we have more details when we return. Stay with us.